So let's talk nickels here. Keonte Scott, starting nickel. I did an interview with him for Storm Sessions. Great young man. Strongly recommend checking out that interview on Canes All Access, talking to Keonte Scott. He's just a really, really engaging young man from California. It's been a long journey. He's been bouncing around school to school to school to school, just trying to be identified, trying to get exposure, and then finally gets his big break. Goes to Auburn, one of the best nickels in the country. Went to junior college first and goes to Auburn. Was one of the best nickels in the country. Looked like he was going to be an NFL draft pick. Gets a lot of NIL money to come back. They move him outside. He struggles outside. Does not do well outside. Much better at the nickel. His coach, Zach Etheridge, leaves Auburn, goes to Houston. Keonte Scott was going to leave Auburn and go to Houston to try to rehabilitate his game. Etheridge goes to Miami. He's now here. And like he never left, man. He's playing a position. He's comfortable with that nickel. Etheridge is his coach. Terry Jefferson is the nickels coach, but Etheridge is, in the building. And I like his game, man. He's fast. He's got size. Legit, probably 4.4 on the clock kind of guy at nickel, which you want. Speed there. Because otherwise, if you get a quick but fast guy, you can get the Philip Dorsetts of the world. Going to run down the seam and make you look bad. So speed, has good size. He's physical. He's played in big games. I think he is a day one impact player at the nickel position and someone you feel good about going against Notre Dame.
Yeah, big fan of his. I think the playmaking ability is there. The leadership he's brought right away. I mean, he's very appreciative of the moment. I talked to him on media day, and he says every day he steps in there and he looks up, he sees the All-American banners and the green tree. And I think after kind of having the down year that he had and when you're on the NFL radar and then you kind of fall off a little bit and then you see, man, I was supposed to go to the Senior Bowl. I was, projected mid-round sort of pick. And then all of a sudden, like 1 year later, that's not where I'm being projected. It's a bit of a wake-up call for guys at times. And I think he stepped into that room and brought some really good leadership because we've brought in a lot of transfers, but these are still young transfers, right? Xavier Lucas, 1 year college football. Ethan O'Connor, really 1 year playing at Washington State. Charles Brantley is another nice vet that you're bringing. Damari Brown, he's a vet now at this point, but he hasn't played a ton of football with his injuries. So bringing him into that room in terms of the veteran presence was very important as well. OJ, 1 year of college football. So as much as we know how much talent there is in this room, there wasn't as much experience as maybe you would think for all the transfers that you brought in.
No doubt about it. It's a group with a lot of upside still.
Yeah, a lot of collective. It's collective experience because when you put it all together, there's enough games played there, but you get where I'm going there.
100%. By the way, shout out to Lynn Fletcher, the Queen of Green Tree. Says Pringle's got that juice for sure. Running back rooms look like the champs they are. Power, speed, quickness, toughness, explosive. Appreciate you again. The Queen of Green Tree, fashion icon. I will say with the running back room, that's a group that there's a lot of guys I feel good about, man. I mean, there's really no one I don't feel good about. And people say, yeah, you're a homer. You feel good about everybody. But that's a strong group. Chris Wheatley-Humphrey, you put the pads on him, and he's making plays. He's got great quickness. He's a real runner. He's not just like a big play guy. Same as Pringle, not just a big play guy. Certainly elite speed, but he can break tackles as well. And the big guys, they look like NFL backs. They're big. I mean, Lyle, Fletcher, Marty Brown, just seeing those guys walk around, it looks the way you want it to look, especially when you go against a team like Notre Dame. So that's a strong room. It's a strong room. It's a healthy room, knock on wood. It's a deep room because obviously it's not going to be healthy all year. We hope it is, but that's just the nature of that position. Guys get banged up. Feel very good about adding Marty Brown and then having Pringle and Wheatley-Humphrey as ready as they are, which I wasn't sure they were going to be as ready because they're just young and they're not the biggest backs. I feel very, very good about the depth in the room. I thought you might have to use Lawton there more before Marty Brown came in, but now that all these guys are emerged, I think that could be more of a luxury that you do when it's appropriate as opposed to something you need to do. We got Zach flying down to Miami next Saturday. Can't wait. Enjoy it, man. It's going to be a fun trip. All right, so go ahead, Pete.
No, I was going to say, Josh Sarnoff says, don't know about you guys, but woke up this morning with a little bit of an elevated heart rate. That means the season is here. I did too, but that's because I was watching Tyron Evans highlights.
Yeah, my heart was elevated because I was doing a leg press, and I'm not the best at that. Not the best at that. My stretching needs to work, man. That's this the hard part with legs for me is not the pushing the weight, it's the stretch.
Dude,
I gotta
you
loosen
know
up a
what?
little.
I will say though, not to go too off track. I used to think it was the same thing for me, but that normally means you have a deficiency somewhere in your legs. It tricks you. You think you're tight, but it's really just weakness. So I don't know, man. Maybe want to look into want to get some work done there, man. Get with a specialist.
That's it, man. And listen, I know our running backs don't have that problem, and our nickels don't have that problem. They're physical as well. So we talked about Keonte Scott. Feel very good. 904 Hurricane says Keonte Scott better be on point. He's covering Notre Dame's best receiver. Miami contains the run, and Keonte does a good job against Great House. It's a wrap. You mentioned Great House a few times in 904, and we could talk about that matchup over. Obviously, we will as we prepare for Notre Dame. I think the key with him is getting into him early. Don't give him a head of steam. He's fast. He can break tackles. I don't think he's the best route runner in the world. So to me, you got good corners. You got physical corners. You got a physical, athletic nickel in Keonte Scott. Nose to nose, make him beat you with his route running. Don't give him a head of steam, which allows him to really use his size and strength at receiver to break a tackle and make big plays like he did in the playoffs. This is not a super productive receiver during the season. He's not a perfect receiver. Again, I think he has some route running issues, but the speed is there and he can make big plays. Don't let him build up speed. So another guy I want to talk about here, nickel, and you got to it earlier, Isaiah Taylor. We don't talk about him enough. Son of Jason Taylor, of course. His mother, Zach Thomas' sister. So the genetics on this kid is crazy. He's Mason Taylor's brother, who was the second-round pick of the New York Jets. He plays a lot, man, and he makes a lot of plays. He played for safety for Arizona, got on the field there. So it's not like a walk-on who's never played. This guy's played Power 4 football and knows where he's supposed to be. Obviously, genetics are good, but smart, tough, finds his way to the football. He's been banged up in the past. He's healthy now. He's one of those guys who he's going to be on the field making plays, and someone's going to be like, hey, who is that guy? And it's going to be Isaiah Taylor. He plays. His ratio of like snaps played to, and this is probably our fault, like us talking about him is low because he wasn't a big name recruit. He wasn't a big name, transfer. But number 28, when you see him on the field, don't be surprised. That's Isaiah Taylor. He's worked hard. He's got very good instincts, and nickel's really where he makes his hay.
Yeah, again, Corey Heatherman singled him out the other day, so I have no reason to think he isn't going to play.
Yeah, he'll play. And then also at nickel, Chris Ewald, somebody we've talked about a bunch, the freshman out of Chaminade Madonna, 4-star. We beat out Georgia to get him. He was a former Michigan commit to Jim Harbaugh, flipped him from there. So you had to beat out some big schools to get this guy for a reason. He's extremely smart, extremely well coached. His dad, his coaches, all done a great job with him. So he's one of those guys that you see him out there. He looks much older than he is in terms of the way he moves, the way he diagnoses things, how urgent he is. There's no second guessing. When he sees something, he's pretty aggressive to go get it, and usually is correct. I think he's still in the process of getting bigger. I think he said he gained like 20 pounds since he's been here.
He said he told me in media day that he was 155 pounds when he arrived at Miami in January. And yeah, he's at like 175 now. So 20 pounds. And for a guy that plays that position, it's an adjustment to put on that weight, and how do you move with it? But it seems like he's been good with it.
Yep. And I think when he gets to that 185 range, you're going to really see him blossom. But true freshman, I think he could play early because he's a guy that is smart, and smart plays when you're a freshman. So nickel group, I feel good about. People always ask you move Damari Brown to the nickel. Can you move Xavier Lucas to the nickel? Ethan O'Connor, we have so many outside corners. Charles Brantley with his size, you would think it made more sense there. But I think because you've added Keonte Scott and these other guys have emerged, you feel good about it. God forbid there's some serious injuries. Maybe you move stuff around. But I think right now, the nickel corners you're looking at are going to be Scott, Taylor, and Ewald.